Hello and welcome back, and in this episode we get Wally jumping. That's right, he's starting to get a little bit more expression in here, so he's got jumping. We've also got picking up objects as well, and he can actually deliver them to the other side as well. So all of this is coming up right now. What I want to do is clean this up a little bit so I can sort of understand it again, because I can't actually remember, because it's been about a month since I looked at this code again. Just to recap, we've got Wally walking, I should say, and climbing. So he can walk over here and do all these kind of things. But I also want to have him jump, obviously, because he needs to be able to jump over obstacles. One of those obstacles, obviously, is these wheels. So when he gets up to here, he can jump over them. I don't think it makes sense that he can jump over them when they're walking away from him. But yeah. So anyway, so that's the goal today, is to get the jump working. The second goal, though, is to get pickups working. So these objects over here, I don't know if you can see that my cursor moving there, but those objects there, they need to be picked up, but I need to get like a hitbox on the middle part of them, because it's not just good enough that he just touches this and then goes on. There needs to be some kind of gameplay going on here. So we need to make it just a little bit more difficult for him. So one of the things is we need to get him to hit that box there. So we'll put a box in the middle there, and then we'll add these as triggers and get him to pick up the object. So once he's picked up the object, he then just carries it with him. So what we'll end up having to do is child that object to Wally, and then he can carry it with him. And then after that, that's all Wally's movements done. And the next thing we need to do is get the parts in here, make up the car, and then drive it off. And that's pretty much the game. And then it's just rinse and repeat for the rest of the levels. So yeah, let's get cracking. Let's get Wally jumping. So let's go back into the code here. So right now there's two states. He's either climbing or he's not climbing. So I'm going to change that to let's call it movement state. So we'll create an enum here, and then we'll have him as walking, climbing, jumping, falling, because that's the states that we have for our movement. And then we'll just have private state. We'll just call it state. And then our start, we'll do walking. So you initially start walking, and then instead of climbing, we're going to do state is climbing, and then we don't need this one here. So if the state is climbing, he's not climbing at this point. You see what I mean? So this doesn't actually, we don't need that there. But we do need to set the state to be climbing. So state equals climbing, and we'll get rid of that. Is climbing. In fact, let's get rid of is climbing altogether. There we go, and then we'll start to see red all over the place. Okay, so so that is collision detection, not climbing. Then we will say state not equal to climbing in there. And then down here we've got climbing, so that is going to be state climbing, and So that's going to be state equals, because we only have two states just now. And again, that's going to be state equal to claiming. Because again, we don't want to move the player on the x coordinate, the x axis, if we are claiming. We only do that if there's a possibility that they can leave the ladder. Then they can do that. So this should have like zero effect on the game so far, which is exactly what it does. So it's exactly the same thing. It's just that we've added the possibility of having more conditions to our state machine, rather than just walking and climbing. So next up we have jumping. So we have our move changed. So we have game controller move changed, and then let's have that as jump changed. We'll just call it jump changed. And then this is just going to be our action, Unity action, jump changed. Let's call it jump listener. And then move player. That's not move player, is it? Oh, right, sorry. Jump. Oh. Add listener there, and then we'll have public event jump player. Okay, and then we've got our jump action here. So our jump action is there, and we do performed plus equals performed. Yeah. Let's call it capital P performed. And do we need cancelled? Don't think we do need cancelled. Pretty sure we don't need cancelled. Pressed. Was pressed this frame. Yeah, I guess just performed. And then for that we need to do jump player invoke. Okay. So I think that's all we need there. We'll soon find out. So then we go to jump changed, and then do private void jump changed, debug log jump. I can't actually remember what jump is, so let's go and check the asset out. So we'll go to our project, and I think it's in the root of here. Yeah, it is. Yep. Yep. Stick was the up, down, left, right. Jump. There we go. Space. Okay. So it was the space button. Space key button, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so then we go to console, and then we press space, and then we go, we've got jump. Perfect. Okay. So in our Wally mob, we're going to say if jump is changed, then we're going to do state equals jump. And then we need to set up the initial thing. So we're going to do jump initial y equals y. Oh, we'll actually do if state equals jump return. We don't want to do double jumps, so we don't want to do if you press space and then space again, then you can end up jumping off the screen. So we don't want to do that. So we're going to cancel that out by saying if the current state is jumping, return. Actually, if it's jumping, or actually state is not equal to walking, return. So we don't want to get it if you're walking. Sorry, if you're climbing, we don't want to jump, and if you are already jumping, we don't want you to jump. So the only way you can do it is if you're walking. So our initial x y is that, and then we want to return to y. So we'll do jump time equals 0f, because I think we should do is just a sine wave. So just a up down, but we need to clear it. So I think if we go to 18 pixels vertically and then back down again, I think that should be enough. So let's create a field for that, and let's create a field for that. Okay, and then in oh yeah, we need to do our jump x equals x, because if we're not handling the movement, then we don't want to update x with a new value. So I'm going to create a new field for that, and then I'm going to say if state equals jumping, return. Because again, I don't want any movement. I want to control the movement while we're jumping. So if we're climbing, we're doing that. So if we're climbing, we do that, and if we're not climbing, we do that. So this is working out already. Else if state jumping, and then it's going to be initial y. Oh right, okay, yeah, we need to. Well, that's the initial y is going to be -1, isn't it? Sorry, it's going to be pause dot y. Sorry, I got that wrong, because it's the y that we're working on here, and then the jump y equals 1, because we're increasing by 1. I think we increase by 1 as we go up the screen. No, I think it's -1. Okay, -1. Generate field jump y. Okay. So then if we are jumping, we want to say pause dot x plus equals. Actually, we don't need that. We just need to do keep that one there. So pause dot y grab that here. Is that, and let's call that jump y, and then we want to say time, jump time plus equals time dot delta time. If jump time is greater than or equal to 0.5, jump y times -1. So we're heading back down. Times equals -1. Ooh. We just want to set it to be that once, don't we? Let's do jump falling. And not jump falling, generate field data. Okay, so we're adding a wee bit more there. We could probably do that as another state because it's really the falling state, but we'll do it as that. And then we want to end that at that point there. So we want to say if jump time is greater than or equal to 1, then we want to say state equals, we want to make it walking, and then we want to say pause.y equals jump initial y. So we want to restore back to the initial y. This isn't taking falling into consideration just now, or sorry, falling off the platform. So if you jump into like a void, it's not going to take that into consideration. This is just jumping on the one level. And then yeah, that should be it. Let's do that. So we're going to walk along and then jump. Okay, well, you know what? That did kind of work. Jump Y. Where are we? I guess we don't need jump X. Jump Y is that. So the initial one is 1, so we're right the first time, or my guess was right the first time. And then we also need to make sure that we are going, this is speed per second, speed pixels per second. So that might need to change as well, because we might need to make that a bit better for our Y for jumping, but we'll see where we are. You know what? It's not too bad. Oh, that was pretty bad. Oh, I think I know why, because we're not resetting some values. Yeah, I think that's why we're not resetting some values. Okay, so what do we need to set up here? So we'll do jump Y equals that, position Y. Is that right? Okay, so that's doing okay. And then this one here. Yeah, see, oh, is jump time. What am I changing here that's not? Where's Y? Jump Y. Jump falling. Alright, let's set a breakpoint when we jump the next time, see what those values are. So we know they're right the first time, because it looks nice. So when we jump, we go boink, like that. And then the second time we jump though, and consequent times, let's set that there. And jump. Okay. So jump is 1. Jump time is 0. Oh, jump's falling. Jump is falling. There you go. See, sometimes you just need to take a look at your code when you're debugging and you see the mistake straight away. So this should work every single time. I think we might need to make it just a little bit higher, the jump. So there we go, jump. There we go. There he is. Oh, it's starting to feel like a game. I think I said that before, but never mind. There we go. Yeah. Jump over the kettle. Jump over that bit there. There's a wee bit of a kind of drift there. Oh, I know why. Okay, so we need to set the X to be 0 when we finish jumping. So we need to say, get rid of that. So if it's that, then we do X equals 0. Y equals 0. Because we don't want it to move. I think Y actually is going to be 0 anyway, because we're not actually moving up unless the players like moving their joystick up or whatever, but chances of that happening slim to none, slim to many. So we do jump. Okay. Oh, see, it's kind of catching a wee bit. Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Let me rethink here. Okay, so let's get rid of that. So we know the Y works. So when the maybe it's okay. I mean, if I'm running on, does it? Actually, you know what? If I let go, oh, see, it's stopping now already. Damn it. X equals jump X. So whatever X is at the start, then we make jump X to be whatever that is at the end, which makes sense. So whatever they're pressing at the start, we basically cache it, and then we use that in the next calculation. So when they're walking, there we go. Okay. Movement changed. Claiming. That didn't work. Here, register, cancelled. Move player, invoke 00. Okay. If it's claiming. Okay, so, oh right, because it's jumping, it does return there. Okay, right. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't want it to let me if new x is not equal to x, x equals new x. Okay. Only because I want them to go to jump and then immediately do something else. You know what I mean? So if you jump and then if you jump and then immediately, if you're jumping to the right and you immediately want to turn left after that jump for whatever reason, then you should be able to. So if I let's see, that's not quite right. Well, it's working there when I'm moving, but I don't want to. You know what? I think I need a. I don't need that new x. I need it to be jump x. New x. Actually, sorry. I want the same thing, but I want it to be if jump. Oops, sorry. Jump x equals that, and then in here, down here somewhere, x equals jump x. So if jump x changes, then I want it to I want it to take that value. Does that make sense? Okay, so we jump. Right, so he's moving that way. So I jump up. Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's exactly what I want. I want the ability to, if I move to the left and jump, I want him to do his little jump. And if I move to the left and then hold down left, I want him to keep walking. And then if he's, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Awesome. I think though that we need to change the jump. So this is going to be vertical. Alright, let's call it jump. Jump speed, instead of 32, I'm going to make it 36. And then in here, where are we? There we go. So instead of that, jump speed pixels per second. So he's going to jump just a little bit further than he does horizontally, just to give him that little bit more of an edge when jumping. There we go. Maybe just a wee bit too much. Could he bash his head on there? Yeah, just a little bit too much. So what do we have there? 36. Let's make that 34. See where that takes us. I don't want the yellow. I'm gonna end up moving this back to 32, aren't I? Oh dear. Yeah, well. I've got a funny feeling. I don't want the yellow and the yellow attribute clash to hit there. Yeah, that is hitting there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move it back. It's fine. I will. I'll make the. Yeah. He's getting a wee bit trapped there. That's okay. I'm sure we can fix it. Right, so we need to, now that we've got the jump working, let's go and add another part to our Wally prefab. So we have Wally here, but then we need to have our create empty. and we'll make this about here-ish, which is 16. That's halfway there. And we'll add collider there, box collider 2D. And you can see it's tiny, so we're going to make that a little bit bigger. So we'll make that 16 on the horizontal. I'm going to make it 14 actually. 14 on the horizontal and 14 on the vertical. And that gives us that kind of area to hit. We'll do this, we'll call this object pickup. And then this one we're going to tag as, we're going to add another tag and we'll call it player pickup. Call it player pickup, and I will change that to player pickup. Okay. And then in the other prefabs, where have we got them? Collectible. This is the collectible prefab. Okay. So here's our collectible here. It's a very simple object. It's just a sprite renderer. We're going to add a box collider 2D to it. And that box collider 2D needs to have a script associated with it because we need to interact with it. So I'm going to go to scripts and then let's go into mobs. It's not really a mob, but we'll call it a mob anyway, it doesn't really matter. We should probably, oh no, delete. Actually, do we have an environment? Yeah, we do have an environment. Oh, we've got a collectible script. Well, there you go. Why didn't I just go to here? Okay, this is what I mean, is that you come back to a project like a month afterwards and you're like, oh, I don't know where anything is. Okay, so we got our prefabs and we got our collectible. I'm assuming there is a collectible on here, and there is, yep. Okay, so inside collectible we can do on collision enter 2D. Oh yeah, we need to make that actually. I'm jumping all over the place here, sorry. If we go to collectibles and then that there, the box collider is a trigger. Let's call it a trigger. So we'll do on trigger enter 2D if collision dot tag equals player pickup debug dot log player pickup. Okay, and go to here. All right. So if the player picks this up, then we're going to have to hold on to it. So that's the kind of next step. So I'll jump here, and then obviously he's walking in the air there. So there you go. There's player pickup is actually hitting that, but we don't want to hit that. We want to be able to get them to have to jump for it to pick up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cheat. we're gonna make Wally's hitbox just a wee bit smaller. So we'll go back to here, go to our mobs, go to Wally, and then our object pickup, and instead of 14 by 14 we'll make it 10 by 10 just to give him a little bit of a difficulty, and then we'll drop it down -2 to make it kind of just a wee bit further down, so he has to jump a little bit more to get to it. And then when he picks it up, we'll then attach that collectible to him. So that collectible is the object pickup. So that seems like a good place to put to parent that to. So let's do object pickup. So we don't have a script on here, which is fine. So but we do have one on Wally. So let's go to our script and then say serialized field, private, transform, pickup root. So we'll call that pickup root, and then we'll so we'll get our pickup root there. So we'll drag that into there, and then we will do public void pickup object transform object, and then we'll say object.set parent pickup root, and we'll do if pickup root. Actually, let's make a wee helper function here. Let's do public. Let's do private carrying, and then that's going to be pickup root dot get child count greater than 0. And then we will say if carrying return. We don't want to pick up anything else. We just want to pick up that thing there. What? No. Oh, it doesn't like get child count. What do we need? Oh, right, okay. Alright, okay, well, you just tell me. Don't start shouting at me. Okay. And then in our collectible, we want to say player pickup. So we know it's a player pickup. Let's get the Wally mob. So we'll do var Wally equals collision.transform.get component in parent Wally mob, and we'll do Wally pickup object transform, and that'll do it. So that says check to see if it's the player pickup. If it is the player pickup, go and grab the Wally mob and then try and pick it up, and the code inside the Wally mob will then say, hey, am I carrying something? And if I am not carrying, then I'm going to pick it up. So let's go and pick up something. So I'll go over here, jump over them, here, and so this shouldn't. Well, that was unexpected. Oh, set object set parent pickup root. Oh wait, hold on. Pickup object. Transform. Okay, so let's transform for the collectible. Set parent pickup root. Local position equals vector30. I have to do that? Or is that before or after? I can never. Let's do that. Actually, I'm wondering if the collectible is. Where's the root? Where's the pivot point for the collectibles? So if I go to our art and then is it sprite? I should make these collectibles a separate object, but never mind. So that one there. Open spray editor. No, it's the top right hand corner. So it should pick it up there. Maybe we need to move it over just a wee bit, which is fine. We can do that. But it shouldn't have picked it up from there. So I need to make that smaller still. So go to mobs, Wally, and then object pickup. Where pickup, okay. And then let's make that 8 by 8, and let's make it -4. Just bring it down just a little bit more, and then I think what we'll do is we'll check and see where that object actually is. We can view the gizmos, and then we can check those values there. So let's bring that in there. Okay, so go back to our scene, and that's that there. And then, where are we? Wally. There we go. That's him there. Why am I not seeing the box collider? There we go. Okay, so his box collider is way below. Oh no, it's not way below. It's kind of touching actually. So I think the box collider for this one needs to be smaller as well. So let's go to our collectible, prefabs, collectibles, and then the box collider for this, instead of 16 by 16, let's make it 14 by 14. Just bring it in a little, and yeah, now that should, you should have to jump for it now. So let's go and jump. Yeah, okay, so you can't get to there. Yeah, okay. And then that's that point there. Let's make that in the middle of Wally. So where's our pickup object? So instead of 0, we're going to make it vector left times, we want to move it back 8 pixels. Move left 8. Thanks, Bitdefender. Okay. Right. Okay. And we'll jump up. And now we picked up the door. Now we have the door panel. And then we go over to here. And we don't have the door panel because we kill the object. So that is going to be a problem. So trying to destroy the collectible, but we're trying to access it. Okay, so that's going to be an issue. So we're going to have to figure that one out. I think first things first is we need to create a game state object. So where are we here? Let's go to environment. No, not really. Housekeeping. Yeah, let's call it housekeeping. I don't know why I called it housekeeping, to be honest. And let's call this global game state. Give it a no. There we go. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Add new item. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess, yeah, true enough. Darn it. Okay, let's do that again. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's go back in here. And then let's go to scripts, environment, housekeeping. Here we go. And then let's call this game global state. It's not really global game state. It's actually accessed through the other thing. But anyway. And then let's do public int current collectible. Alright, and then in our, where's our game controller? Or did I put this in here? Eesh. Game controller. Okay, so then we do private game state, and then we can do public global game state. Okay. And then when we add it to there, what we can do is collectible. So we pass that in there, we pass in the transform, but we can also pass in the index value. And then go to here, and then int collectible index, and we can say game controller instance state dot current collectible equals collectible index. Okay, and then when we transition the room, we need to get rid of that object, don't we? Well, let's see where the error messages are first of all. So we're storing that in the global state so that when we do change the room, we can then figure out which one it is and then add it to the object. So we've got that there. So we pick it up. There we go. And then when we move into here, so maybe what we do is we don't actually add that, we create an instance of it and then just hide that one that we have in the scene, if that makes sense. So that's okay, but when we go back in here, that's when we get an error message, and the error message is missing reference exception. The object of type collectible has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. So this is inside 234. So that's what we need to do. We also need to, so there's a couple of things we need to do. So we need to add it to the scene. We need to remove it from the scene cleanly, which means hide it. And we also need to create an instance of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a copy of this object. So we'll do var copy equals instantiate, and then it's going to be this game object. So we're going to make a copy of this game object, and then we're going to pass in copy.transform. Actually, we could probably do that all in one. It doesn't matter what we're doing here. So, and then we want to say game object.set active false. So we want to hide the game object. So we want to make a copy of it, and then we want to hide the game object. So that's the first thing. So we go into here. So go up the stairs. pick up the object. Here we go. So now we have our object. So we should be able to go down the stairs, go along here. That doesn't break. Then we come back in here. It doesn't break, but it does appear up there. So when we enter the screen, we need to find out what collectibles there are. So where are we? So if we go to our level builder, we have our list of collectibles. So these are collectibles list. So this is the current collectibles. Why do we have two of these? I'm sure there's a reason. So clear component list. Where do we create that? Okay, so collectibles equals that, blah, blah, blah. And then what we need to do is we want to say if call dot index, if c dot index properties value. Okay, let's do that. Our index equals that. And let's do index. If index equals, and then this is going to be our game controller instance, game state, current collectible, continue. So we don't want to recreate it. We don't want to add it to the scene. But we've already destroyed it. So what we want to do though, actually, create collectibles. Is that, but we want to say if it's the current collectible, we want to parent it to that. So we need to do Wally mob pickup object call dot transform. So that will re-pick up the object and parent it to it. But that's not going to do it for, is that going to do it for, find all references, create collectibles, describe room, okay. Oh, that's only going to do it for create collectibles when we first go into the room. So when you first start, that's not going to bring it up. Okay. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Right. So that's going to create the collectibles for the room, which we hide. We need to know which ones are already inactive or picked up. So we still need to do this. So what I think we should do is go to our global game state and then say public list int placed parts. Okay, so so we'll say if if game controller dot instance game state dot current collectible equals index. Or dot placed parts that contains index. We want to hide that object. So we want to say call set game object set active false. So you want to hide the object if we've already picked it up. Clip that. But the problem with that though is that's only doing that once we've hit the room. So we need to do it once we enter the room and check to see what collectibles there are. So that's not really going to do anything in here, is it? So let's take that out just now, and then go to our describe room, and let's hold on, collectible set active in warehouse. Right, okay, that's why this is this bit here. This is the bit that we need. So we need to say if it's in the warehouse, if in warehouse, do this, and then we do collectible game object set active false, collectible dot index. There, okay. So if we're in the warehouse, go through all the collectibles and place them all there. Otherwise, we want to make a copy of the game object and place it in the player's hands. So we want to set active to be false, and then if current collectible equals collectible dot index, we want to pick up this game object. So we want to say copy and then do collectible and then we want to do Wally mob pickup object, and then it's going to be collectible index collectible. Okay. So this makes sense, right? So if we're in the warehouse, wait. No, I want to take that out there, and I want to what's my logic here? Okay, so if we're in the warehouse, we want to determine if the part can be seen or not, and okay, this is fine. So we want to comment that out just now. Else, and we set active true. Okay. So if we're in the warehouse, we do all that, and if we're not in the warehouse, we need to do something else. I want to combine the two rather than having that crazy logic duplicated twice. So we have our objects there, so we go out here. We shouldn't see the objects in there, but we are. Okay, because nothing is stopping it from doing that. Right, okay, that's a good point. So, so if it's in... Right, okay, hold on. Var placed or carried equals that. And then it's going to be collectible game object dot set active in warehouse and not placed or carried. Okay, so let's just get rid of that logic just now. So if we're in the warehouse, so for each of collectible, we're going to check to see if it's in the warehouse, and if it is in the warehouse and it's not been placed or carried, set it to be active. So all the collectibles should be active in the warehouse, and they are active in the warehouse. But we go into the hoist, and they shouldn't be, but they are. Okay. Oh, because I've got in. Oh, that's why. That's in warehouse here. Right, okay. That's why. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's try that again. So we go back into here. Right. Alright. So we've got our pieces there. Go into here, no pieces. Go into here, pieces. Alright. That's all we wanted. That's all we wanted to do. And then we want to check to see though that if they are carried, so we want to say if collectible index equals the current collectible, what we want to do is make a copy of that. So var copy equals instantiate collectible dot game object copy dot set active true. So we want to make a copy of it, and then we want to give it to Wally. So we'll do Wally mob dot pickup object, and then it's going to be collectible dot index copy dot transform. Right. Okay. And then that's going to set things in motion for picking things up, which is the next step of the operation. Alright, okay. So we've got our objects there, the not objects there. Alright, okay. And we jump up here. Don't know why I'm waiting for that, never mind. There we go, we've got our pickup. And we jump down here. Come in here. And we don't have that. Send the parent of a transform which resides in a prefab asset is disabled to prevent data corruption. Well, I thought I was making a copy of it. Why am I not making a copy of it? Level Builder 243. Wait, is that? I mean, no, we're not doing that down here. Collectible prefab. Oh, is it because of that? No, I'm making a copy of that, surely. You know what? Let's do private transform make collectible index int index and then we'll do a copy of all of this. Sort of a copy of all of this. So we'll do instantiate that, and then it's going to be our vector to position. So that's going to be pause, and then the index is going to be that, set sprite to be that, and then return call.transform. So we'll do make collectible our collectible and pause is going to be that. Collectible is going to be that. Collectible dot get component. Alright, and then we'll do make collectible up here. So instead of that, we'll have make collectible, and then the index is going to be collectible dot index 0 copy dot. Oh, we don't need that. Okay. Let me get rid of all that commented out code. And then run up here. Grab this guy. I don't know why he's moonwalking backwards there. Figure that one out. And then go to here. Nope, didn't like that either. That's crazy. Why is that? Setting the parent of a transform which resides in a prefab asset. Like, I know what it means, but I don't understand why. I mean, I'm making a copy of it. Like, it should be. Oh, let's get rid of this stuff here. Make collectible. So if we go to make collectible, get rid of that as well. So instantiate. Let's see what the internet says about this. What does this mean? Okay, here we go. There's the AI overview version of it. Setting the parent of a transform which resides in a prefab asset. To fix this, you must instantiate the prefab first. I am. Creating a live game object in the scene, and then the parent, and then set the parent. Am I not doing that? Is that not what I'm doing? Is that not what I'm doing? So hold on. So I create this object here, instantiate, right? And then I, where are we? Yeah. So I create that there, create a copy of it there, and then I pick it up. Pick up object. So I make a copy of this. Copy of this, which is that. I don't, what am I doing wrong here? Essentially brick vector, blah, 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 blah. Instantiate brick vector. You're trying to set the parent of your brick prefab, not the actual brick you instantiated. There's the prefab, there's the copy, and I'm passing in the transform. Like, what is different? What is different to this? To this? I mean, other than the fact this isn't setting a parent, it could be it. But I'm creating a copy of the prefab here. I'm instantiating the prefab here, and then I return the transform to the prefab, and that gets called up here, collectible. Okay, but it also gets called here. Yeah, that'll no, I'm not doing that. I'm doing the copy here. What is going on? I'm making a copy of the object. So essentially brick, instantiate brick. Okay. So that problem there makes sense to me, because it's saying, okay, I'm instantiating brick here, and then the reply is, well, actually, you're setting the parent to be whatever the brick is. But I'm not doing that here. I'm making a copy of the prefab, and then this is the thing that gets returned. So am I losing my mind here? I'm not sure what it wants me to do here. I'm not entirely sure. So it's complaining of what exactly? So line 242. 242, pick up object, Wally mob. Oh wait, is Wally mob? Oh. So Wally mob, I think, might be the... Yeah, that's the prefab. So where did I create Wally? Ugh. I'm an idiot. That's why. It was the wrong parameter. Okay, so where's Wally mob getting used then? Get Wally start. That's got to be used somewhere. Instantiate Wally instance. There we go. Okay, so instead of that, we need to do Wally instance. Who's the Wally now? Me. That's who the Wally is. Everyone's a Wally though. That's the nice thing about it. Alright, so let's go into here. Let's try this again. Right, so we're going to go grab our part. Let's go grab another part. Sick of that part. Right, grab that guy. Okay, so we're going to grab him, moonwalk back, and we're going to go into here, and we still have our part, and we still have our part. Okay, that's us. We're good to go. Look at that, it just follows. It feels it. Do you know what? I'm playing this, and it actually feels like I'm playing a Spectrum game. Like it's the animation is spot on. He's a wee bit faster. So hopefully he shouldn't be able to pick up this other part here, and he can't because he's already got a part. Alright, so now we need to drop off the parts. So that is going to be done inside our magical drop-off zone. So our magical drop-off zone, we're going to have to just create a prefab for that and just drop it in the scene. And let's build that just now. So actually, let me see, tiled. Maybe later. Okay, maybe remind me next week. So our magical drop-off zone is actually this part here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a game object just to have it in the scene. I'm not going to give it too much weight or anything. I just want to be able to pick the part. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Hey, right, back in Unity. Let's go run the game, and then we'll add a game object, and then add it roughly to here. So if we go to our scene, let's add a new game object here, create empty, and we'll call it hoist drop off. Doesn't really matter what we call it because we're going to change it in just a sec anyway. And then we're going to add a box collider 2D to it, and we'll make that 48 by 48 just for funds. Okay, so it's up there, and then we're going to drag it. Actually, it's going to be 128 across because it's the middle of the screen, and then the Y value is going to be about here, so minus 100, and then the size 64. Yeah, 64. Okay, so let's take a few notes of this, and then we'll create our object, and we will we'll add it to our game. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to create an empty object, and we'll call it hoist drop off. And again, this is going to be 128 and minus 100 and 0. And we're going to add a box collider 2D, and it's going to be 64 by 48. Probably doesn't have to be that much, but that's good enough. And then we'll add that to our prefabs, but we want to make sure that's a trigger though, and we'll call that, we'll add a tag there, and we'll call that hoist drop off. And we'll drag that there. Okay. Alright, what else do we need to do? Sorry, just get rid of this. Got a notepad there. Okay, so we got our hoist drop off. Let's go to our prefabs, and we have just drag that in there. So there's our hoist drop off. And then inside our level builder, what have we got? We've got, these are the prefabs here. So we'll have serialized field, private, hoist drop off. Oh, it's a game object, isn't it? Hoist drop off prefab, and we'll have that as an instance as well somewhere. Where do we have it as an instance? These are all the instances here, aren't they? Private game object drop off instance. Okay, so we were going to create this to start with, so we'll do equals instantiate, and then the object is going to be the hoist drop off prefab, and then it's going to be active if we're in the room or not. So this is our change room bit here, so we have our thing down there, and then we can say instance.set active hoist room, no, warehouse, and warehouse. So if we're not in the warehouse, then we're going to have the hoist drop off active. So if we go, so we're always going to have this object kicking around, but the change, when we change rooms, it's going to be, why is that not saved? One sec. Sorry. Here we go. I mean, to be honest, I could have just kept it in the scene there, but oh no, we haven't set it to be that. That's why. Okay, so game controller, and then we've got our prefabs. So we can see we our hoist drop off one there. So we're going to do hoist drop off into there, and that gives us our prefab. So this will create an instance of hoist drop off somewhere. There you go. There's the hoist room root, which has got a whole bunch of stuff in it. Hoist drop off. Okay, so hoist drop off is not active, but when we move into the next room, hoist drop off becomes active. Okay. So what we can now do is if void drop current object. So if not carrying, return. So if we're not carrying it, then we want to return, and if we are carrying it, we want to destroy the object, but first we want to get the index. So we want to say var index equals what's it called, root, pickup root dot get child 0, get component collectible, and then we want to say game controller dot instance dot game state dot drop object, and we'll do index. Now there's a reason why I want to do that, because I generate method. If I go to here, I want to set the current collectible to be -1, and I want to set the, actually I don't even want that. I just want to say placed parts dot add current collectible current collectible equals -1, and then we want to say if current collectible is greater than or equal to less than 0, just as a wee kind of safeguard. We don't want to drop nothing into it. So we want to add that to there, and then drop object there, and then we want to get rid of the current object as well. So we want to do destroy pickup root. Actually, you know what? Var child equals pickup root. Get child 0. Child, and we do child again. There we go. So it picks up the child at position 0, grabs the collectible so we can get the index from it, which is index, and we don't need that. There you go. We don't need that. So let's drop current object. So in here we do else if collision dot tag equals hoist drop off drop current object. Bingo. Do we need anything else in there? I mean, we probably want to, you know, increment to do increment player score. And maybe we even do that from the game controller itself, like inside here, instead of calling the game state directly, maybe we want to use the game controller, but it's fine. We know what we're doing. It's our game. Draw little squirrels in it and all that kind of stuff. Bob Ross. Okay, so now if we go and pick up this door again, or the fender, or whatever it is. So we pick up our door. I think I know why that's doing the moonwalk as well. So go into here, and then we drop this off. Oh, didn't like that. Oh, and the game object instead. Okay, sorry. Destroy child dot game object. That's an easy fix. There we go. There we go. Go up to here, jump, grab the door. Alright, keep going. Jump up here. There we go, and now he's dropped off that piece. So now we go back in here. That piece is missing because we've picked it up. And there we go, we've got our piece there. Need to fix that moonwalk. It's quite irritating. And ooh, I think we'll make it so that the hitbox, you've got to basically go a little bit further into it, but that's easy fixed. So we go to hoist drop off, and instead of 48 we can make it 24, and let's make that 48 as well, so that you're a little bit further into it. And then the backwards Y thing, that's inside Wally mob. So when you're walking, I think we need to know. So this is saying if you're climbing or jumping, new X. No, that's fine. It's when you come out of it and you start walking again, it should flip. If X is 0, sprite flip back that one. Huh? Okay. What? If X is 0. Oh, right, okay, so it's, okay, so if X is 0, it just takes the current flip. So, wonder why that is doing that. Let's see that, and then, okay, alright, okay, let's do, this here. There. So, so it's only after a jump that it causes the problems. Right. Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. There you go. Fixed it. Let's just go and make sure that's right. So we go over here. Jump over him. Yeah, and you got to go a little bit further in. Don't know why I'm avoiding this. It feels like I should be playing the game, to be honest. Well, I am playing the game. Alright, and then we go up here. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Alright, great. Fantastic. I think this video is going on a wee bit too long. I think we'll leave it there, but thank you very much for watching. And if you like what you see, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and share on social media, because it really does help the channel out. And if you got this far and you like, if you'd like to see more of this series and anything else I do, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. But until next time, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.